Why do some people journey through life without ever finding the love they deeply yearn for? Why do relationships seem to crumble despite their best efforts? Is it just bad luck? Or have you ever questioned yourself, wondering if something is inherently wrong with you? But what if I told you that this isn't a curse, rather a sign, a divine sign that Allah is protecting you from something beyond your understanding? The wisdom behind Allah's plan. My dear brothers and sisters, not everyone is destined to walk the same path. Some are shielded from love, romance and attachment for reasons unseen. In Islam, when Allah removes something from your life, it is never without wisdom. Imam Shafi'i rahmatullahi alayhi once said, "If you knew how Allah manages your affairs, your heart would overflow with love for Him." So before you see this as a misfortune, before you allow heartbreak to consume you, let's uncover the 7 reasons why some people are kept away from love, and what this truly means in Allah's grand plan. 1. When Allah protects you from the wrong person. Have you ever been close to someone, only for the relationship to suddenly fall apart? You may have believed they were the one, yet somehow, things just didn't work out. At the time, it might have felt unfair, painful even. But looking back, you realize that staying in that relationship would have only brought you suffering. In Islam, when something fails repeatedly, it is often a sign of protection, not punishment. Allah removes people from your life because He knows what you do not. The Quran reminds us, perhaps you dislike something, yet it is good for you, and perhaps you love something, but it is bad for you, and Allah knows while you do not. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:2. Look at the world today. How many rush into relationships only to be left broken, betrayed, and spiritually lost? Sometimes not getting what you want is Allah saving you from what would have destroyed you. The question is, do you trust His plan, or do you keep chasing what Allah is pulling you away from? Because the sooner you accept that His wisdom is greater than your desires, the sooner you'll find true peace. 2. When Allah protects you from corruption. In today's world, relationships are often treated like a game, temporary, disposable, and fueled by fleeting desires rather than real commitment. Many enter relationships casually, unaware that every bond leaves an imprint on the heart. And when the heart becomes attached to the wrong person, spiritual blindness follows. You start justifying what is haram. You lose sight of your purpose. Your connection with Allah weakens. The Prophet warned, when a man and a woman are alone together, the third present is shaitan. Many don't take this seriously, assuming that as long as they mean well, it's harmless. But look around. How many have lost themselves in haram relationships? How many have sacrificed their peace, dignity, and faith just to please someone who was never meant for them? If love has been elusive in your life, it might be Allah shielding your heart from corruption. He knows that the wrong love leads to ruin, while the right love, one built on faith, draws you closer to Him. The test is, will you trust Allah's wisdom, or will you keep pursuing what He is protecting you from? 3. When Allah wants you to focus on something greater. Some people spend their lives chasing love, only to lose themselves in the process. Others, however, seem to be guided by a higher purpose, building their faith, their character, their mission. If romance has been absent from your life, it could be because Allah is redirecting you towards something far more meaningful. The Prophet said, "Whoever prioritizes the hereafter, Allah places richness in their heart, organizes their affairs, and brings the world to them. But whoever focuses only on this world, Allah places poverty between their eyes, scatters their affairs, and they receive only what was decreed for them." Look at history. The greatest scholars, leaders, and visionaries did not let their lives revolve around relationships. Instead, they dedicated themselves to something lasting. Are you using this season of solitude to strengthen your connection with Allah? Or are you wasting time chasing temporary happiness? Because when you prioritize Allah, everything else falls into place. And when you learn to master your desires, we are not robots. We feel emotions. We crave companionship. Islam does not suppress these feelings. It teaches us to control them within the boundaries of faith. This is what distinguishes believers from those who are ruled by their desires. The Quran says, But as for he who feared standing before his Lord and restrained himself from desires, then indeed paradise will be his refuge. Surah An-Nazi'at 79:40. The difference between strength and weakness lies in who is in control. Do you rule over your desires, or do they rule over you? Most people today follow every impulse, never pausing to consider right from wrong. But if you are struggling to resist temptation, this struggle itself is a sign of faith. True success comes when you discipline your desires for the sake of Allah. 5. When Allah teaches you that true fulfillment comes from Him. The world tells us we need someone else to feel complete. If we are single, we feel like something is missing. If we are in a relationship, we feel validated. But Islam teaches something deeper. True fulfillment comes from Allah alone. People try to fill the void in their hearts with love, thinking another person will heal them. But no human can fill a space meant for Allah. The Prophet said, "Whoever seeks Allah's pleasure at the cost of displeasing people, Allah will be pleased with him and cause people to be pleased with him. But whoever seeks to please people at the cost of displeasing Allah, Allah will be displeased with him and make people displeased with him too." If love has never worked out for you, perhaps Allah wants you to seek Him first, before seeking love from His creation. Because no matter how strong human love is, it is always temporary. But the love of Allah is eternal. It never fails, never abandons, and never leaves you empty. 6. When Allah is preparing you for something greater. When love feels distant, it is not rejection, it is preparation. Allah withholds certain things not to deprive you, but to prepare you for something greater. Maybe it's a test to strengthen your heart. Maybe it's a mission that requires your full focus. Maybe Allah is clearing distractions to give you something even better at the right time. The Prophet said, "No servant of Allah will truly believe until he believes in Qadr, destiny, both the good and the bad, and knows that what has befallen him was never going to miss him, and what missed him was never meant to be his." Look at the lives of the righteous. Many did not chase romance or attachment. Instead, they dedicated themselves to higher callings. Could it be that you are being prepared for something greater? 7. When your patience is being tested. Everything in life happens for a purpose. If love has been kept from you, it is a test of patience, trust, and submission to Allah's plan. The Prophet said, "Whoever remains patient, Allah will grant him patience, and no one is given a gift better than patience." Will you allow loneliness to make you desperate, or will you use it as an opportunity to grow closer to Allah? Because that those who trust Allah's timing are never disappointed. May Allah grant us patience, protect our hearts, and bless us with what is truly best for us. Ameen.